Good evening, everybody, and welcome to week number 5 of the Esports Simulation League. This week, we hit the mile-and-a-half banks of Kentucky, a track known for high line, high tire wear, and high tempers. Tonight, we go 100 laps in the sunset. Austin Knight in the 210 has got the pole for this race. Zachary Taylor in that number 24 machine going to be sitting to the outside. Starting in row number 2 on the inside, the number 15, Dustin Slider in that Ford Mustang machine. And to his outside, the number 1 of Antoine Bernoulli. Row 3 inside that number 5, that's Frank Wade. To his outside is that number 92, Bobby Leo Moxon. Starting number 7th is that number 85 car, Michael Bussell, and Wilhelm Leighton on his outside starting P8. P9, Earl Andretti is starting at number 69 machine. Right to his outside is that number 18, Casper Hagelskar. Dan Harrington, Basher Craven, and Aiden Davis, Rocco Stallone, and Russell Shoemaker round out your top 15 starting order. As we go down the backstretch, we've already gotten the 1 to go signal. Coming out of turn 4, we'll go green flag racing for the 5th time this year with the Esports Simulation League. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Pace car coming out of turn number 4, getting ready to hit the pit lane, and we're going to go racing. Austin Knight, your points leader, sitting on the pole for tonight's event. Pace car's in, and we're green flag racing. Off into turn number 1, Austin Knight takes the lead. Dustin Slider right on his tail in that number 15 machine. Frank Wade's going to stick his nose underneath Slider in that number 5. And we're going to be looking at 3 wide going into turn number 3, lap number 1. Everybody sorts it back out 3 wide, a little bit further into Pat Casper Hagelskar in the middle there. Then number 18 machine. Dan Harrington to his inside. Bobby Leo Moxon on the outside. Still 3 wide as we go into turn number 1. Casper Hagelskar in that 18 making that inside line work as he moves up a couple positions. Oh, and we're getting a little bit loose coming out of turn number 2. That was Aiden Davis, last week's winner, running the middle in that number 3 machine. Rocco Stallone making that number 44 work on the inside. He's going to look to make a couple moves. Cuts Dan Harrington off there, closes the door. Oh, and they're getting so loose. They're sideways with Bobby Leo Moxon. They hold it together going into turn number 1. All of this on lap number 3. Just goes to show what we're going to see later tonight in this night race. Austin Knight currently up front. No! Michael Bussell takes the lead from Austin Knight on lap number 4. New leader, number 85. Austin Knight currently holding second, going to try to hold on to that position. He knows that position very well. He's finished second 3 times this year. Looks to the inside of Michael Bussell as they go into turn number 3. He's not going to have the real estate to do it, and that 85 is going to hold on. Back in 3rd place, we've got that number 1 machine, Antoine Bernoulli, but he has got Frank Wade all in his mirrors. Wade goes to the outside, going down the straightaway, not going to be able to do it. Casper Hagelskar working to the inside of that number 24, that's Zachary Taylor. And then Dustin Slider right behind him in that number 15 machine. 2x2x2 in the back of the pack here, doing a little bit of 3 wide racing. Taking a look at Dan Harrington. Dipping and diving and dodging for position. 2x2x2. Most of the field, the front half is single filed out for the most part. The back half is all battling hard for positions as we see Gunny in that number 68. He's your 2nd place in points, only 28 points back of Austin Knight. He's definitely looking to have a consistent and a good finish here tonight. Back up at the front, your leader, Michael Bustle, still trying to hold off that 210 of Austin Knight. Austin Knight looking high and low, trying to get by the 85, just nowhere to go. Too much power under the hood of that Chevrolet. These two are starting to gap the field over a second back to Antoine Bernoulli from Austin Knight. So these two definitely getting a draft and definitely getting a good run on this rest of the field. We'll have to see what happens when they get side by side, how fast the rest of the field can definitely catch them. And as you see, Casper Hagelscar looking to the inside of Bernoulli for third place. He's got Zachary Taylor in that 24 giving him a push behind. Both of those guys will move past Bernoulli, along with that number 99 of Wilhelm Layton. Dustin Slider and Frank Wade still in that pack, still in the battle as you see Slider going underneath Bernoulli. Side by side as they go into turn 3. 9 laps complete now. 91 to go. We start to get a little more single filed out now. Few battles here and there on the Speedway. Everybody trying to save their tires for the long run ahead. Taking a look at Zachary Lawton, that number 87 machine. And why don't we take the inside? Oh well, we'll go on to Fox Highwind in that number 57. Why don't we take a ride inside the number 57 and see what he's seeing in lap number 10. Moves down to the inside of the 17. Got a great run going through 1 and 2. Now he's up on the back of Schumacher's bumper. And that's Rusty Camoli there in front of him as well. These cars look like they're wheeling the crap out of them. Eagle Madavi in that number 88 Camel machine, working 32nd position right now, 7.5 seconds back from the leaders. And there we've got Dougie Zoom in that number 33 Twinkie sponsored Ford Mustang, having a decent run so far, staying out of trouble, 27th position. He's going to be looking to move towards the front. You see Ben Shelton there in that number 21 machine. Ben Shelton fell out of the top 10 in points on the last race. And he is now quite a ways down the strip when it comes to the points. So he's definitely looking to improve his racing today. As we go back to your leaders, Casper Hagelscar starting to reel in Michael Bustle and Austin Knight. They're not running bumper to bumper anymore, and that is letting that number 18 machine catch back up to him. Just under a second between him and the leaders now. We know that's a winning car. We've seen him win at Daytona. We've seen him run up front at Michigan and have a strong car at most of our races here. So we'll definitely look to see that 18 towards the front of the pack for the rest of the race. Wilhelm Layton in that 99 machine having a great run for himself. Running P4 here this evening actually. Haven't really talked about him too much, but He's up here running a great race for himself. And we look to see more of him up front as well. Dustin Slater making it past Frank Wade there in number 5 for the 6th spot. He's having a good run. He hasn't, his first few races here with us, he had an issue at Daytona and finished last. Had a little bit of success, but not too much. But to see him running up front in the top 10, it's a good performance for that number 15 so far tonight. Casper Hagelskarn at 18, still grinding that lead down. He's caught up almost to the leaders now. On the tail of Austin Knight, Wilhelm Layton's joining the party as well. We're going to have a 4-way battle for the lead here coming up. Casper Hagelskarn looking to the outside, looking to the inside. See where he goes going into turn number 1. Enters in a little higher. And he's not going to be able to do anything through 1 and 2. He's going to stay right in the draft to Austin Knight. Running P3, 18 laps complete now here at Kentucky. Track temperature is now up to 85 degrees. We started this race at 79, so the track's starting to get slick. Starting to get hot. We'll see what happens and see who rises to the top as Casper Hagelskarn goes to the outside of Austin Knight for 2nd place. That's going to give Michael Bussell a little bit of time to get away, but these guys want a position. Wilhelm Layton now moves in. He's underneath Hagelskarn coming out of turn number 4. Oh, it was turn number 2, sorry. Turn number 4, he's coming out of Casper Hagelskarn, and he's going to almost clear him. Not enough to do it. Hagelskarn with the momentum on the outside comes along into turn number 1 on the outside, side by side, way to the outside for the 18 machine. And with that momentum, he's going to hold on to that position. And that 99 is going to have to fall into the back of him. All that spots that he gained up, or all that time he gained back on Austin Knight, is now with Michael Bussell a full half a second ahead of Austin Knight. Your leader pulling away from this one. There you see the head-to-head. Half a second, 0.4 between them two. Austin Knight gaining on him quite a bit. Using that draft to catch back up. Let's see if Austin Knight has anything for Michael as we go into turn number 1. Nothing doing. Well, as we get close to the quarter-way mark, we're going to let you guys crank it up and get the sights and sounds of Kentucky Motor Speedway. Riding along with Earl Andretti in that number 69 machine. He's right up behind Basher Craven in that number 7. Running 14th position, just inside the top 15. 25 laps complete, 75 laps to go. As we take a look at Adam Jones, the rookie from the Mazda series. He's got a 2-race contract to come race with these big boys, running P11, running a great race for his first time out here with the Esports Simulation League. Running right behind Antoine Bernoulli in that number 1 machine. And Dan Harrington in that 82 is going to look to his inside and try to take that position away. And he is going to. Now he's going to look to work on that number 1 of Antoine Bernoulli as they go into turn number 3. Not enough momentum on the inside to do the trick. He's going to try to hold off that number 48. He will do so. Rusty Camolny here in the 64. He had the fastest lap last week when we were at Charlotte. Looking to see him running right behind Gunny there in the 18th position. We have Javier Vasquez running P19 in his breast cancer awareness Toyota this evening, running the pink for this month. That's a nice looking car right there. Rich Pratchard battling with Ben Shelton at number 21. Made a little mistake earlier. I thought he dropped out of the top 10. No, he dropped to 7th in points after last week. So Ben Shelton looking to get a better run this week. Currently running P22 behind Rich Pratchard there in that number 86 machine. Back up front, Michael Bustle still in the lead in that number 85 machine, but Austin Knight's right on his bumper, as he has been for most of the race. Just not enough momentum once he pulls out of the draft to get by that number 85. That 85 has got a strong machine under him this afternoon. And as we are 30 laps in, why don't we go through the field and take you through the top 10? We got the number 85 Michael Bustle running. He led the most laps for the second race of the season. He's leading some laps here. He's been proven to be out front, and he's putting on a great show. And as I say that, we talk about Mr. Consistency. In that number 210 in second place, that's Austin Knight, your current points leader. He still has not yet won a race here with the Esports Simulation League. It looks like Delp Jr. is coming out of the pits. That number 8 machine possibly got a little problem or something. I'm not exactly sure. Pitting at lap number... Oh, he's been in the pits. He's only on lap number 8, so he's about 23 laps down at this point. And we've got a couple cars. Dylan Herviton, that number 22 machine, is also 19 laps down, so it seems those two must have had an incident on track that we did not see. Austin Knight currently running in second. Your third place driver is that number 18, Casper Hagelsgaard. Silently running there in third, catching back up to the leaders one more time. Caught him a little bit earlier today, lost some momentum and fell back with that 99. Giving him a battle, but still running in third. Running in fourth, the number 99, Wilhelm Layton, having a great run for himself this afternoon. Looking to make this finish a good one. Going back to fifth place, our winner from last week, the number 3, Aiden Davis, led 64 laps out of the 100 last week, and he's currently P5 in this one, just riding back there in that number 3 Chevrolet. In 6, we have that number 5, Frank Wade. We talk about him all the time. He's up front quite a bit. Hasn't won a race yet, but don't count that number 5 machine out. We've seen that car do some impressive things so far this year, and we'll be looking to see him do some even more impressive stuff. Going back to 7th place in that number 24 machine, Zachary Taylor running in 7th in that number 24 Chevrolet. Dustin Schleider in that 15 machine running P8, doing a great job staying up in the top 10 in that Ford Mustang. Running in 9th, that number 1 Antoine Bernoulli was the number 19 for a little bit this year, and he changed numbers to that number 1. We'll see if that number 1 helps him get to that number 1 spot. We'll have to see. He's currently running P9. Rounding out your top 10 is that number 82 machine, Dan Harrington. Dan Harrington rounding out your top 10. And as we go back up to your leaders, battling for the lead, Austin Knight still trying to get by that number 85 of Michael Bussell. And look at Brian Delp Jr. in that number 8 with them fresh tires coming around. He'll unlap himself for one of his laps. And he's going to get in the way. Austin Knight going to move over. Is he going to give the 85 a push? Are these guys going to work together and pull away from Austin Knight? It looks like that's kind of what they're doing. Brian Delp Jr. giving Michael Bussell a push, opening the gap between him and Austin Knight. As Delp Jr. goes to the outside now of Bussell, them tires starting to equalize already. See the number 8 diving back in line, thinking about making a move, but not wanting to go to the inside. As Michael Bussell comes out of turn number 4, this is going to be lap number 40, folks. From here, I'm pretty sure that these guys could make it on fuel. So we'll have to see if we have any early takers or when we see pit stops. But so far, we are clean and green through the first 40. Austin Knight now taking the lead. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Mike went out, but we are back up and running. Austin Knight now takes the lead. Wilhelm Layton right on his bumper. Casper Hagelskar in third. Michael Bussell now back to fourth place after losing momentum, being behind the lap car of Brian Delp Jr. in that number 8 machine. Cross flags in the air. Halfway, 50 in, 50 more laps to go. Definitely can make it to the end on fuel now. We'll have to see what happens if we get any more pit stops. Still only seeing 2 drivers a lap down, telling me that everybody else has stayed clean and green. No issues so far yet in this race. Michael Bussell looking to work his way back up towards the front as he works on Casper Hagelskar for third. Casper Hagelskar not going to give it to him easy. He's holding on to that third place position. Looking ahead for second as he goes to the outside of Wilhelm Layton. Not enough momentum to do it as he looks to go to the inside of Wilhelm. Michael Bussell goes to the outside of Casper Hagelskar going into 3. Side by side coming up out of 4. Who's going to have the momentum coming out of the corner? Can Michael Bussell get this spot back? Side by side. Still showing P4 at the line. Running the outside lane, trying to use that momentum against him. Austin Knight currently your leader. Wilhelm Layton in second. Casper Hagelskar third. With Michael Bussell now running fourth and Aiden Davis sitting in fifth. Aiden Davis starting to catch this lead pack now that they're starting to battle with each other. Allowing that number 3 and that number 5 car to start catching up to these guys. Looking to see some green flag pit stops coming here soon. If we stay green flag, we've gone most of our races without having cautions. We've gone green flag most of them, but you never know what is going to happen in these things, especially here at Kentucky. I'm actually fairly surprised that these guys are running the low line and we don't have anybody running the outside line around here that can be fast. We watched Kyle Larson do that before, and so that outside line can be fast here. I'm pretty surprised that these guys are just running the bottom. Austin Knight currently trying to pull away from these guys. 3-car battle for second going on behind him. Frank Wade has gotten by Aiden Davis for 5th and is now working on Brian Delp Jr., that lap machine. Great battle for 5th place going on, even with the lap car in the middle of them. Casper Hagelskar falling back to 4th in that number 18 machine as Michael Bussell moves his way back up to 3rd. Looking to the inside of Wilhelm Layton as they go into turn number 3. Not going to be able to do it there as Casper Hagelskar gets the momentum and starts to charge back on that number 85 machine. .58 laps in here at Kentucky. Austin Knight, your current leader, half a second in front of Wilhelm Layton. As he comes to complete lap number 58. 42 more laps to go here at Kentucky. Michael Bustle looks to the outside of Wilhelm Leighton coming out of turn number 2, trying to get a run on him going down the backstretch. Dives it down to the inside, not going to be able to do it there. Casper Hagelscar all over his bumper, ready to pounce on any mistake. Looking to the outside. And he's got a run going into turn number 1 on the outside of Michael Bustle. This is going to allow that number 5 of Frank Wade to catch up to these guys a little bit more. Still side by side for third. Michael Bustle, Casper Hagelscar. And Michael Bustle's going to take that position. Wilhelm Leighton in that 99 running P2. Great run for that Chevy team. All black paint scheme. No sponsors. Running second here in Kentucky. Catching the number 210 Austin Knight lap after lap after lap. Now the gap within 0.2 of a second. Start watching for pit stops as we got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Wilhelm Leighton on the outside. Austin Knight on the inside. Austin Knight holds him off going through 1 and 2. Austin Knight starting to pull away just a little bit from Wilhelm in that 99 machine. Michael Bustle still in third. Casper Hagelscar fourth. Frank Wade in fifth. Aiden Davis in that number 3 running sixth. Going back to seventh, we've got a little bit of a battle. Dustin Slider running at 15. Along with Adam Jones and Russell Shoemaker. Zachary Taylor in the mix along with Basher Craven. And what did I say about that number 68 machine? Slowly and steadily working his way up through the field. Gunny has got himself up to 11th spot after 65 laps. Great performance for that number 68 machine. And we've got cars on pit road. Your leader, Austin Knight, Michael Bustle on pit road. Austin Knight's going to get off first. That's going to open up the lead to Wilhelm Leighton in the number 99 machine. Multiple cars on pit road, and here comes your leader. Few cars still staying out. Your new leader is now the 68. Gunny stays out, and he is going to be your new leader. He's going to clock a lap lead. And that number 68 Toyota machine having a great run for himself. Looking to move up a little bit more in the standings. Running second, trying to gain some points on Austin Knight, and he's going to take the hard left on the pit road. Along with Earl Andretti right behind him. Austin Knight comes back around. He should reassume the lead if all goes well. Where is Michael Bustle? He came out right behind him, but is quite a ways back now. Something must have happened. He must have got caught up with a car or something, because he was coming out of the pits right behind Austin Knight, and he is quite a ways back from him. There it is right there. Austin Knight moves back to the lead after we cycle through pit stops. Aiden Davis going to be in second in that number 3 machine, 5.5 seconds back, with Wilhelm Leighton in third and Casper Hagelskar in fourth. In fifth is that number 85, Michael Bustle. And as I say that, he's getting passed by Dustin Slater and Frank Wade. Slater moving up into fifth, Wade into sixth, Bustle back to seventh. Adam Jones, the rookie, running eighth, having a great run for that young man here this evening. Rich Pratchard running ninth, Zachary Taylor in 10th. Fox Highwind running 11th. Gunny moved back to 12th after that cycle of pit stops. Basher Craven in 13th, Earl Andretti 14th, and Ben Shelton rounding out your top 15 after them pit stops. See Big Dog James coming into the picture in that number 27. He's trying to get in the mix, along with Patrick Manning in the 9. Patrick Manning is 9th in points right now in that number 9 machine. Rocco Stallone in that 44, rounding out the bunch of cars, and we're going 3 wide racing again after these pit stops. 30 more laps to go here at Kentucky, and things are starting to heat up. Fresh tires and tire temps starting to climb, as we see the number 88, Eagle Madavi, running up here in P19. Was running back in 32nd earlier in this race, so he's having a good run for himself as well. Glad to see that Camel car up towards the front of the pack. Casper Hagelskars moved himself into second position past Aiden Davis. Wilhelm Leighton's gotten past him as well. Now they're going to try to work on cutting the gap down to Austin Knight. Almost 5 seconds ahead of Casper Hagelskar now. Austin Knight did not want to leave anything to chance. Pit strategy came into play to get him in the best contention to win. His pit crew did an amazing job, and now he is 4.5 seconds out in front of Casper Hagelskar. Casper Hagelskar and Wilhelm Leighton battling for P2. Four seconds now the gap between Hagelskar and Knight. Hagelskar gonna hold on to it. Got a battle for P5 between Dustin Slater and Frank Wade. Slater in that number 15 machine having a great performance here this evening. Here you see the three-way battle for second place. 3.5 seconds now the gap up to Austin Knight. Even while battling, these guys are catching that 210 machine. That number 210 could just be saving tires and not quite sure what he's got going on. These guys got the draft. He does not. But we've got some lap cars coming up that could be some help for him if they can fall in line with him. The lap car, the 22 Dylan Herviton coming up. He's currently being shown 18 laps down. The star of the show tonight, though, is that number 210 machine, Austin Knight, leading the way. 78 laps complete now. 22 more laps to go. 4 seconds out in front of Casper Hagelscar in second. As the laps start lining down, we'll give you one more chance to crank it up. Number 68 machine working his way up. He was 11th before pit stops, 12th after, and has now worked his way up to 7th. And with Austin Knight leading this race, he definitely needs to keep moving forward. Dustin Slider next on his list as he works his way forward from Adam Jones. Casper Hagelscar still in second, now 3.4 seconds behind the leader. He's gotten past Herviton and that number 22 and just kept going. So that number 22, no help for that number 210 as far as draft-wise concerns. And Casper Hagelscar cutting the lead down now to almost 3 seconds. We'll see if he has anything for him in these last 16 laps here at Kentucky Motor Speedway. And as the laps start winding down, we will take you through the field. Your leader currently with a 3.3 second lead is the number 210 of Austin Knight. Austin Knight running out front right now, running in second. He's been there most of the day up front. That number 18, Casper Hagelscar, working on trying to cut that lead down, but he's got that number 99, Wilhelm Layton, running in third. He's been up in the top 5 the entire race and putting on a great show for all of us in that number 99 machine. Aiden Davis, our winner last week at Charlotte, Led the most laps at Charlotte and is still in the top 5 here, running P4. In 5th is that number 5, Frank Wade, doing a great job this evening. In 6th, the number 15, that's Dustin Slider in that Ford Mustang machine. In 7th is the 2nd place in points, number 68, Gunny, working his way up from the back of the field this entire race, putting on a clinic for these guys here. Running in 8th is the rookie, the number 48, Adam Jones. Won the Mazda Rookie Series race, got a 2-week contract to come race up here, and he is running 8th place, top 10 running spot for that number 48 machine. Right behind him you see that number 86, Rich Pratchard. He's got himself a good top 10 run as well today. And behind him in 10th place, he led the most laps here today so far. Austin Knight might be taking that title from him here shortly. It's an 85, Michael Bussell. Michael Bussell trying to rebound from a good start. He's back in 10th place. In 11th place is that number 24, Zachary Taylor. In 12th, the 69 is Earl Andretti. In 13th, that number 57, we haven't talked about him too much, Fox Highwind. And that number 57 machine has got himself worked up to P13. Big Dog James and that number 27 machine is running 14th. And the 88 camel-powered Chevrolet of Eagle Madavi is running top 15. 10 more laps to go here. 11 more laps to go here. About to be 10 more to go for your leader, Austin Knight. Still has a 3.5 second gap over Wilhelm Layton now, who got past Casper Hagelscar for 2nd place. Casper Hagelscar in that 18 machine now running 3rd. And Wilhelm Layton starting to pull away. Casper Hagelscar's got to look in the mirror. He's got last week's winner, Aiden Davis, all over his back bumper. Can Davis make a move here in the last 10 laps to get a podium finish? We'll have to stick around and see. Clean and green for this whole race. 3 seconds now the gap between Austin Knight and Wilhelm Layton. Austin Knight, your current points leader, 28 points ahead of 2nd place. 3 top 5 finishes so far this year. Maybe even more, 3 top 5. 3 2nd place finishes this year. And he has been itching and hungry for a win. Coming to 7 more laps to go here at Kentucky. He's got 3.5 seconds back to 2nd place. Wilhelm Layton still pulling away from Casper Hagelscar. Not by much, but by a little. Aiden Davis still running in 4th, and Frank Wade still in 5th. Gunny's got his way moved up past Dustin Slider. He's in 6th place. Oh, he is battling with Dustin Slider for that 6th place position. As we continue to watch these two battle, know that every position that 68 gains is a few more points closer to Austin Knight, who's in front of him in the points. So that 68 needs all the spots he can get in this race. Dustin Slider having a great run for himself, running P6 in that 15 machine. These two running down the number 5, Frank Wade. Running top 5 most of this race. And just kind of cruising along, seeing how it goes. 4 more laps to go. Gunny and Slider side by side as they cross the stripe. And there's Dylan Herberton in that number 22 machine with fresh tires. He's going to get in there. We've seen lap cars become a problem with some of the leaders here today. Hopefully he stays kind of up out of the way, lets these two battle. Gunny looking to get that 6th spot. Slider trying to hold on to it. 2 more laps to go. Sorry, coming out of turn number 4. 2 more laps to go for your leader, Austin Knight. He's got almost 4 seconds between him and Wilhelm Layton. 3 more miles, and Austin Knight will be able to call himself a winner here in the ESL series. What an amazing performance by this number 210 tonight. He ran 2nd place for a lot of the race. Made us all think that that's where he was going to be again. Coming out of turn number 4. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go here at Kentucky. Wilhelm Layton still 3.5 seconds back. He's got a second over Casper Hagelsgaard, but doesn't have enough to catch this 210. Austin Knight. 5 weeks of trying, 3 top 2 finishes. Finally, as he comes out of 3 and 4, give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner for week number 5 here in Kentucky for the Esports Simulation League, Austin Knight. Wilhelm Layton in that number 99 machine coming home 2nd. Casper Hagelsgaard coming home 3rd. Aiden Davis in 4th. Frank Wade in 5th, Dustin Slider finishing 6th, Michael Bussell taking 7th away from Gunny, Gunny finishing 8th, Rich Pratchard 9th, Adam Jones, the rookie, finishing top 10 in his first showing, Zachary Taylor in 11th, Erland Dreddy 12th, Eagle Madavi in 13th, Fox Highwind coming home 14th in that number 57 Chevrolet. Rocco Stallone in that number 44, finishing 15th. Young Ling in 16th. Patrick Manning in 17th. Big Dog James in 18th. Ben Shelton in 19th. And Javier Vasquez rounding out your top 20. For everybody here at the Esports Simulation League, I am Mr. Technicality. Thank you for coming out and joining us tonight. We'll see you next week at Watkins Glen.